Good afternoon or good day, depending on which part of the world or time zone you are. Welcome to the third in the series of seminars, now webinar to celebrate Nigeria's National Day anniversary, the 61st this year. I am Fola Shoboyejo, Executive Director of the Shoboyejo Turning Point Charity Foundation. In collaboration with the Association of Nigerians in Lethbridge and the Southern Alberta Ethnic Association, you are welcome to this seminar. For some, there may not be information or awareness of the activities of the Shoboyejo Foundation. Our mission is simple: to promote and work on educational development and community development. To this end, with the grace of God and the support of people from especially Lethbridge churches and in different parts of the world, we have support. Even in Nigeria, we have completed the reconstruction of a school, the Ogun School in Ifo local government of Ogun State, Nigeria. 3 classrooms, a computer laboratory, toilet building, all with ceramic flooring and aluminum roofing. We have also done 2 seminars in the past. One on immigration and global migration from history to now and going to the future. We also held a seminar in 2019 on the topic of development and democracy, borrowed from the developed countries. Will the model work in developing countries? So this is the 3rd one. We didn't have one last year due to COVID, and we hope you will enjoy it. And for the future, our project is a women and youth center to promote after-school activities instead of kids running into trouble, running around the village and having conflicts with their parents. We are dreaming of a youth and women center where women too can acquire skills in literacy, crafts, and work with the kids on painting, drawing, sculpting, weaving, braiding, fashion designing, haircuts, crafts and welding, small crafts items, and woodwork. And because of the connection of Ogun town to the Adubi War in the 20s, about a century ago, whereby when the war theater was very hot and the conflict was very devastating, the people that escaped from that conflict found refuge in Ogun town. And from our knowledge, based on our knowledge and available information to us, Adubi, the freedom fighter who led the struggle, is remembered in books and stories about the war, Adubi War, but he has not been memorialized. There's no cenotaph to his memory and things like that. So we have space in the lot after developing the Women and Youth Center to have Adubi Heroes Museum built in the place. We also have plans for internet radio where children can express themselves and people can interact on the internet, radio, and learn and teach, and do have all kind of information, local and so forth, about commodities, market days, and local sports and things like that. That is our dream for the future. And even now, before we formally launch the project, we have, contributions already coming in. So this is an opportunity for partnership and for support. Thank you and welcome to the third in the series of our webinars and seminars. And the title is Fake News, Disinformation, Belief Systems, and Truth. Perspectives on navigating a polarized world for peace, development, and happiness. We will have fun today because we are very great speakers. Thank you and welcome.
All right, so I'm going to introduce my next speaker, but before I introduce our next speakers, there are unfamiliar indigenous words in my presentation. And so I apologize in advance for pronunciation errors. Okay, I'm trying to grab my. All right, so I would like to introduce Roy, Weasel and Elder Carmen Williams. Roy Weasel is the president of the Red Cross Community College in Stand Up, Alberta. Namakan, which means hunting and bringing back hope. He was born and raised in Kainan and continues to live and be involved in community initiatives. He was in St. Paul's Presidential School for 4 years. Nitsi Tapi Sini, which means our way of life. This is an interconnected Blackfoot value system. It takes time to learn about these values, but eventually it comes and you realize what the elders have been telling or showing you. This is where Roy learned that change in the human being can begin to take place. Please join me to welcome Weasel Roy. Thank you. It's a joint presentation. Okay, I see. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and also introduce Elder Carvin Williams. Carvin is from the Many Children clan of the Blood tribe. He is a promoter of the Kenyan way of life. He was a past member of Sacred Big Holy Society for 23 years, and he is a current member of the Brave Dogs Society. Calvin Williams is a board member and elder representative of Red Crow Community College. He was a member of the Blood Tribe Chief and Council between 1986 and 1988. He was also a former crime prevention coordination of the Blood Indian Reserve and a former member of FNMI Advisory Council for Labrish Community College. He has worked in the following fields: child care, juvenile collections, correctional officers, and community release officer for Alberta Solicitor General, and emergency medical response. Please join me to welcome Elder Carvin Williams. Thank you.
Okay. The transfer of knowledge. That transfer of knowledge has been handed down from generation to generation. And in our ceremonies, the instructions on how to start the ceremonies, the songs have also been handed down when they were first given to our people. And very little has changed with this information. We keep sharing it with new members, and we give it to them the way we receive it. We don't add or take anything out. And Roy and I have been involved in the Brave Dogs, and this is the manner that they give it to us. The Creator gave us the mouth, our mouth, and our mouth is very sacred. You can you can make a person or you can destroy a person by the way you deliver, uh, the way you communicate. And that's why the elders always say, be careful what you say. Only say good things to help others. And when a when a bird is born, the first thing they do in nature is they cry out for help. The parents see the bird is in distress, so they go and comfort the bird by feeding. And that's the purpose of communication. We're given a voice. And here in Blackfoot country, we are given the Blackfoot language. That's what we use to communicate. And Roy is a scholar here on our reserve, and he'll be talking about his role as a scholar and also as a ceremonialist. And we'll provide some more information.
Okay. Hello to all the participants of uh, this event, and Elder Calvin Williams has just given a short presentation on how we communicate with our community, as well as the spiritual aspects of Blackfoot culture or Nitsita. Even the term Nitsita speaks to the truth. Nitsi means, in Blackfoot, it means the truth. And the last part of it, Nitsitapi, the last part of that word is the person. So we all must, maintain the truth when we communicate to our community members. And that is the culture of the Blackfoot people, that we continue to speak the truth and communicate in a way that's respectful to our community members. And our culture is an oral culture. And I guess the difference between mainstream and Blackfoot is that we transfer our knowledge in an oral way, and that way our our identity and our ways of Blackfoot culture are maintained. We have annual events that promote the Blackfoot culture. I think everybody sees these powwow gatherings. That's the social part of being a Blackfoot person. There's dancing, drumming, and singing. And then we have another annual gathering, the Circle Camp, and that is the spiritual gathering for our community members. Happens during the summer, late July to first part of August. Community members converge at a place that's been designated as the site for the social gathering. And that's where all the societies come together and have an annual spiritual event. And that's where knowledge is transferred to the various groups by those elders who have previously been active members of the society. So our knowledge system continues, to be transferred from one generation to the next. And we remain strong in our ways, always taking great care to address our people in a good way. Like Calvin said, words are strong. You can really build up a person, or you can make not feel so good. So we're very careful how we communicate with each other. So those are kind of the ways that we continue to keep our culture alive, as well as, conversing in our Blackfoot language. And I think in our present day environment, the Blackfoot people have really coming back together and promoting their Blackfoot culture in the many ways that it's expressed. I think our community is really trying hard to teach the Blackfoot language to our younger generation so they can transfer their knowledge to the next generation. That's very important. For us, Kelvin and I think it's better to articulate our knowledge in our own language and, being, I guess, just transferring our knowledge orally, because that's the only way our younger generation will start fully understand their Blackfoot identity. They have to, understand the language. So when Calvin prayed, he prayed for the good in all of us, and everything that we do turns out, well for, the audience here that we're talking to. And I think that includes our members. So we have a real strong belief that, our ways will continue, and we will continue to transfer our knowledge orally, and our younger generation must start listening and, engage with their elders. That's the only way that I've been able to do that in my 25 years of work with Red Crow College. And Blackfoot language is my first language. Okay, so thank you for listening. I'll ask Calvin to continue his part.
In the old days, we never wrote anything down. And one method we used was we used the ochre. It was the different colors of soil pigment. We used to write symbols on rocks, on roads. These were stories. These were stories that we, our ancestors, drew for the future generation. Today, they're still visible. thousands of years old. And we never wrote the information that was shared with us. It was passed down orally. And today we still know information from when we first started as people. We Creator made us from the soil here, and we have all the same elements. If scientists were looking into the components of the ground, they'll find that the American Indian is made up with the same elements, the same signs. And we go back, we only live for a certain period of time, and we go back into the soil. Creator knew man was very forgetful, so he created woman to help him. Women are very sacred, they're the givers of life, and they help men to preserve information. Women have the ability to retain information for long periods of time, and they remind their husbands uh, anything that the husband forgets. So that is the role of women, communication, the methods of communication. We um, we never wrote anything down. We we have the ability. We have a computer in our heads, and that is what we use. And in the old days, when they had to deliver messages from camp to camp, they had runners that carried the message to these different camps and to bring back a new response. Information was very sacred. You use it in a good way. We don't use it to destroy anything. And we nurture our children with information. We try and build up their self-esteem to make, to give them a good foundation of growth. One of the worst things that was ever written was the doctrine of discovery. And that doctrine interrupted lives of many different nationalities. And here in North America, it really changed the whole environment. Our people used to live well over 100 years old. We had all the necessities of life, tools given to us by Creator, and we used them in a good way. But when Europeans came, they took that all away, and they wanted to make us as images of themselves, and they wrote the treaties. We had no input in the treaties. We didn't understand English. And they also included words that were very damaging, cede and surrender. That is why today we're not landowners, we're only occupants here. And our traditional lands were all taken away, were placed on reservations. We had to ask permission to leave these reservations. We were very controlled. Today, we're still controlled by that same policy that was developed in 1876, which is the Indian Act. It took away the powers of our chief. It took away the ability for our people to manage for themselves. We were self-sustaining before contact. And the assimilation process that they introduced really made us dependent on direction. And today, we see all the social problems on every reserve in North America. They're all similar. Housing conditions are all similar. You see our people wandering the streets that are lost in this concrete jungle. Those are all the effects of residential school assimilation. And I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share with you today. I wish each and every one of you the best in life and to read up, to research the American Indian. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those educational information given to us. Thank you so much.